Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. In this video, we're going to be going over how you can potentially solo Moltres this upcoming weekend. So first of all, there's going to be a couple of minimum requirements in order to accomplish this. The first one is going to be to have at least 6 level 35 Smack Down Tyranitar, all with 15 attack. This is going to be the minimum breakpoint for Tyranitar. There is another breakpoint at level 39.5 with 15 attack, and so if you guys do have some maxed out Tyranitar with Smack Down Stone Edge, this will actually benefit you a lot more, but in case you guys don't, level 35 is the bare minimum that you need to accomplish this. And if you guys did not already know this, Smackdown is a legacy moveset for Tyranitar from the Larvitar Community Day, and so therefore if you did not get your hands on any Tyranitar with Smackdown, don't bother wasting your fast TMs because you can no longer get this moveset. The only other way to get this moveset at this point in time is to pretty much just trade it with other players. Now the second requirement is going to be to have the Partly Cloudy Weather bonus. This will give your Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar an extra boost in power, which will ultimately allow you to solo Moltres. Now the third requirement is going to be to have a decent amount of max revives. I'd recommend having anywhere from 20 to 25 at the very least because you will have to re-lobby during the battle. And this also means that you're gonna have to re-lobby very fast in this battle. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below from a fellow creator that goes over how to re-lobby very fast. She actually does a lot of raids and has done a lot of challenges in the past, so this is why I definitely recommend checking out the video if you guys do not know how to re-lobby fast. And something else I'd also like to go over is that there's an HP regeneration glitch when you're doing solo raids. So basically what this means is that when all of your Pokemon get knocked out and you have to revive them, when you go back into the raid battle, boss will actually have its HP regenerated a small amount, which is actually kind of annoying, and for some reason it hasn't been fixed in such a long time. But this is something that is definitely going to make you take longer in the raid battle opposed to just doing it without having to feint out. Now it is possible to do this without having to re-lobby, although it is very unlikely. The reason why this is so unlikely is because you're going to have to dodge almost every single one of its charge moves, which also means that you're going to spend a lot of time not attacking Moltres, which ultimately I think is going to go against you because you won't have enough time to complete the raid battle. But again, there is the HP regeneration glitch, and so you kind of have to weigh out the factors here. If you know for sure that you can definitely get away with dodging most of the charge attacks, then I definitely go with that approach because you're going to save a lot more time because you're not going to have to max revive, you're not going to have to re-lobby, and you're not going to have to deal with the HP regeneration glitch. Opposed to someone who's just going for straight DPS, they're going to have to factor in all of those excess times. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say, but I definitely recommend if you do have the dodging skills to go for that approach first, and if it doesn't work out, then go for the DPS approach second. And now finally, the fourth requirement that you're going to have to meet is you're going to need to know how to trigger a delayed raid, which is something I'm about to go over. And so the first thing that I'd like to go over right now is what exactly is a delayed raid. So basically, if you're the first person to visually see the gym on the in-game map, that will trigger a delayed timer. And so for example, let's say that you're all doing raids, right? But then there's this like one gym that just nobody goes to for whatever reason, and then somebody goes maybe like an hour into Moltres Day, that will trigger a delayed timer, and so therefore that Moltres timer will start at 3 hours fresh. Instead of it actually starting at the very start of Moltres Day, this is pretty much how it works, and this has been proven in the past Articuno and Zapdos days, so we're going off the past assumptions that this is going to be the case for Moltres Day as well. And essentially this is the key to soloing Moltres on Moltres Day. And so what you're going to want to do is you want to find an undiscovered gym about maybe like a half hour, an hour into the event, and therefore you're going to trigger a delayed raid, and then after Moltres Day ends, what you want to do is you want to go back to that gym, and then instead of it being a 180-second timer like a level 4 raid, it'll actually be a 300-second timer like a level 5 raid. But the actual Moltres raid boss will stay the same as a level 4 boss, but instead of it having 12,500 HP like a level 5 raid boss, it'll only have 7,500 HP like a level 4 raid boss, essentially the way it was during the actual Moltres time window. And so pretty much the only difference here is that instead of getting 180 seconds to battle the raid boss, you will now have 300 seconds to battle the raid boss, and so this is basically going to be the workaround on how you can solo Moltres on Moltres Day. This is incredibly important. If you guys do not do this step, it'll not work, because you need to have that 300-second timer. There is no possible way that you can solo Moltres with 180 seconds. It is just not possible. And if you actually trigger it really late, for example, like an hour and a half into the event, you're gonna have an extra hour and a half to, you know, attempt the Moltres solo. So, you know, the later you discover the gym, the more time you're going to have after the event is actually over. So, you know, do what you can. I highly recommend at least 30 minutes after the event starts to, you know, start looking for the undiscovered gyms, because that is really going to help you out a lot. And so those are pretty much going to be the 4 minimum requirements to solo Moltres on Moltres Day, but let's go ahead and dive into the actual raid battle times for Tyranitar and how fast you can actually take this down. So assuming that you only have level 35 Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar, it'll take you a minimum of 260 seconds to complete the raid. And this is not factoring in the additional time it's going to take to re-lobby, as well to do more damage for the HP Regeneration Glitch. So let's go ahead and say it takes you 15 seconds to relobby, and then it takes you another 15 seconds to deal with the extra damage for the HP Regeneration Glitch. That's ultimately 30 seconds, putting you at a grand total of 290 seconds if you have level 35 Smack Down Tyranitar. So you will be able to beat this with about 10 seconds to spare, and you're only going to actually use about 9 Smack Down Tyranitar. So when you're max reviving, instead of actually max reviving all 6, I'd recommend just max reviving 4, because you really don't need to max revive 6. You're not going to go through all of them. Therefore, you're going to spend at least a second or two less max reviving those last 2. And so that's my recommendation for that. I definitely would not go with max reviving everything. Just focus on the 3 to 4 Smack Down Tyranitar that you want to throw in, and then you should be good to go. And again, this is assuming that you only have level 35 Smack Down Tyranitar, and this is also going to be the potential worst moveset. So it's going to be Fire Spin Overheat, and that is going to be the minimum amount of time that it'll take. It'll take you about 290 seconds, and that is if you do everything right. If you get lucky and it's not as crazy of a moveset, you actually should be able to do this a little bit easier, but it's only going to be like a couple seconds of a difference. So yeah, just factor in the worst moveset possible. That way you can go in confident, and you don't have to worry about it, because you don't know what moveset you're going to get, especially with the delayed raid timer. It could be Fire Spin Overheat for all you know, so that's why you want to definitely factor in the worst case scenario possible. That way you still have a decent amount of time to complete the raid battle. And yeah, anyways though, let's go ahead and move on over to the level 39.5 scenario, in which you can actually take down Moltres at a minimum of 251 seconds. And therefore you're going to save about 9 seconds in the battle time, which is actually a significant difference, guys. I mean, 9 seconds additionally is a lot. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, when it comes down to these raid battles, 9 seconds is a lot of time. So having those level 39.5 Smack Down Tyranitar, you should be able to do this a little bit easier. And so I'm definitely betting that those of you guys who have those will actually be able to solo Moltres for sure, because I mean, you're gonna have about 19 seconds additionally if we factor in the relobby time as well as the HP Regeneration Glitch, which is actually a really nice cushion, assuming that you take more time on the relobby or the HP Regeneration takes a lot longer to get back down again. Definitely having those extra 19 seconds opposed to having only about 10 seconds of free time is really going to make a difference. So if you guys do have the level 39.5 Smack Down Tyranitar, you will be a lot more comfortable opposed to somebody who only has level 35. But again, level 35 is the bare minimum to do this. Now let's go ahead and move back over to the dodge scenario. Essentially, if you guys are dodging pros, this is the ideal scenario for you, and it's ultimately going to give you the fastest time possible. But again, you have to dodge almost every single one of its charge attacks in order for this to work. So assuming that you're going in with level 35 Smack Down Tyranitar, you will end up going through about 4 to 5 of them, and it's going to take you about 265 seconds. Now if you're going in with level 39.5 Smack Down Tyranitar, this will only take you about 256 seconds, and you're only going to go through about 3 to 4 Smack Down Tyranitar. And so if you guys can definitely dodge like pros, and you're for sure going to make sure that you dodge almost every single one of its charge attacks, this is the ideal method to go for. Obviously, I recommend doing this over the max revive and relobby process, but again, I don't assume that everyone is going to be able to dodge every single one of its charge attacks. That is very, very tricky to do, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some fails mixed in. But again, try this approach out first if you guys think you can do it, and if it doesn't work out, then I definitely recommend going back with the previous approach and just going for the max revive and relobby process. And so that is pretty much what you need to do in order to solo Moltres. Again, the most important part about this is actually triggering that delayed raid, and that is going to give you the 300-second timer instead of the 180-second timer, which is crucial in order to do this solo. And so once again, this is definitely possible in theory, and I'm 100% sure that somebody is going to do this on Moltres Day. And if this video did actually help you solo Moltres, please let me know. I'd love to feature you on the channel, because this is something that I definitely would love to do myself, but unfortunately, I won't actually get partly cloudy weather this weekend, because it's going to be like 101 degrees, so I know for sure it's going to be sunny, and therefore I won't be able to attempt this myself. But I do have the level 35 Smack Down Tyranitar, and I really, really wanted to do this, but unfortunately, weather is not on my side. But again, if you guys are able to do this solo, please make sure to screen record it. Definitely, you're going to want to make sure that you share this on social media and stuff, because this is a really, really big deal. I mean, this is the first ever solo legendary raid boss, and yeah, it's pretty epic if you can. And so with that being said, I really do hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you did, feel free to hit that like button down below. As always, I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more Pokemon Go content, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. And I will see you all real soon in the next one.